The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. It's Monday, 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes to go until that opening bell. And, folks, we got markets in positive territory. They just don't stop. Green across the board. S&P's up 12 points right now, trading at 33.73. You got the NASDAQ futures up 85 points right now, 11,217. Dow futures up 71 points, 27,863. Oil contract right now, negative about 15 cents at 41.86. Gold catching a little bit of a bid, up $20. Gold trading at 19.68, putting gold on a little 15-minute, going back to last week, of course, the flash low on Wednesday to 18.74. Gold climbing higher overnight. I got it on a 15-minute. You back it up to last night. Gold was trading at about $19.39, and we've added almost $30 to the price of gold. We'll get into the stories of gold in a moment. You got Warren Buffett out there, Berkshire Hathaway getting out of the banks business and getting into the gold business with Barrick Gold. That one of the stories over the weekend we'll take a look at. Silver up $1.26 at $27.35. Quite the range of trading you had in silver last week, from $29.50 to $23.50, $6 range from Monday to Wednesday. And just like that, though, we've clawed back almost $4, $27.34. Even you look at where we were overnight, just like gold, down there at about $25.91. Silver's added about $1.40. Notes and bonds so far, a little bit of higher price and lower yield. We're dealing with a 10-year yield right now of 0.68%. The 10-year is up 7 ticks at 139.11. The 30-year is up 18 ticks at 178.13. And I mentioned it at the top, Barrick Gold. We'll check it out. There's your symbol. Talk about an acceleration higher. Oh, I don't have a chart posted. Shame on me. I thought I had. There we go. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay. Barrick Gold, $29.76 right now. Quite an acceleration from 27. You're talking about up almost 10%. You'd be up, actually 10% right on the dot right now. Up $2.70 from $27. Comes out Berkshire Hathaway. They bought a bucket load. Let's get into it right now. Why not? I got the charts up. We'll pull up. And there's the headline. Barrick Gold stock soars after Buffett's Berkshire reveals stake. So to get into it, Buffett added 562 million position in Barrick Gold in the second quarter, while the position is small for Berkshire, which owns more than 89 billion in Apple stock. The conglomerate is the 11th largest shareholder of the gold mining company, just like that. And at the same time, mining company, just like that. He has ditched. And at the same time, many of the banks. Now getting into stocks making moves. I think we got into here. Many of the banks. They got stocks making moves. I think we got into here. I want to see when they talk about him ditching some of those banks. Where are we? There we talk about him ditching some of those banks. Where are we? There we are. Filing, which came out this weekend. Berkshire also cut stakes in Wells Fargo and JP Morgan, as well as completely exiting its investment in Goldman Sachs. It had sold off most of its position in Goldman Sachs the prior quarter. It gets rid of all of it. Pretty interesting at a time of economic uncertainty that you would go to gold, makes sense, just interesting, and ditch the banks at a time of pretty low interest rates for the time to for the foreseeable future, we'll say. And let's jump over to some of those banks right now. Wells Fargo, they've been in trouble for a while, but you see the banks trading a little bit lower on that news, from $25.30 to $24.95. It was JP Morgan as well, going from about 102 and change to 101.50, and Goldman Sachs, he got out of completely to 206.42. All right, checking in what else we have going on. Huawei. The battle continues between the U.S. and China. They're going to tighten restrictions on Huawei access to technology, chips, and sources. The Trump administration sent to announce that it will further tighten restrictions on Huawei. The move is aimed at cracking down on its access to commercially available chips. Officials briefed of the matter. In any other world, folks, this would be an epic story, the continuing climb of tensions between the U.S. and China. So you have the Trump administration set to announce today that will further tighten restrictions on Huawei aimed at cracking down. Commerce Department actions will expand restrictions in May aimed at preventing the Chinese telecommunications giant from obtaining semiconductors without a special license. They're also going to add 38 affiliates in 21 countries to the government's economic blacklist, raising the total to 152 affiliates. They're really trying to cut them out just completely. How Huawei and their affiliates have worked through their third parties to harness U.S. technologies in a manner that undermines U.S. national security and foreign policy interests. So interesting as that story charges on. Big week of retail earnings this week. We'll get into that the next segment. Let's jump in to see what else we have going on. In terms of biotech, you have Sanofi. They're going to be buying Principia Biopharma for $100 a share, $3.7 billion, premium about 10% over the price, strengthen their presence in autoimmune and allergy-related diseases. We covered Barrick Gold. IBM, they're going to have a new data center processor that will be able to handle triple the workload of its predecessor. Samsung has tapped IBM to manufacture the new chip known as Power 10. IBM, Big Blue, getting a little bit of a pop today with the market, though. 125.27 to 125.75. I mean, this should be a case study for the ages. Let me back it up more. For IBM, from 182, I even want to go back further. There we go. From 215, it's been a slow, steady climb, slide. From 215 back in the highs, pretty remarkable. You're going back more than 7 years ago. And folks, that's a pretty simple chart in trend channel. You want to see the line where we line up. I mean, you just pick a top, and those two just align pretty easily. And we've had some outliers on the bottom side, but anywhere around this trend, right? Doesn't get much more simple than that. IBM, they're going to have to pull themselves out of some trouble there. The continuing slide, even with new data processors. Alibaba, they could face a ban in the U.S. The continuing tensions of U.S. and China. Trump saying over the weekend that he's considering such a move against the China-based e-commerce giant. The statement follows orders to China's ByteDance to divest U.S. operations of its TikTok business within 90 days. So Alibaba, well, this is going to be an interesting chart. That's their long-term chart. They go public in 2014. You're at 57, and then you're up at 268. This morning, you spike lower on that news, but just like that, it's clawed back. Pretty remarkable that you have the U.S. president saying over the weekend that he's considering a ban in the U.S. on Alibaba, and the stock barely budges. Is that priced in? Maybe it is priced in. Putting this on a daily, I mean, if it's priced in, show me where on this chart that thing got priced in as the tensions have risen. Just constant upward movement in these stocks, even with constant kind of bad headlines going on. Procter & Gamble, they got a cut by Nelson Peltz's fund management. They also reduced their investments in Bank of New York Mellon and GE. Procter & Gamble, disclosure, I have some Procter & Gamble myself. Been a great stock in this rebound. Remarkable, right? Staples, I was in this before COVID. Staples, just for a little bit of retirement exposures to some staples out there. And you go from 127.94 to 135 above where you were pre-COVID. And you're pretty muted today right now. About to open even at 135.15. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be going over the retail earnings we got coming up this week. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
To gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the Dow just creeping up. All the markets creeping up. Dow positive by 66. S&P is positive by about 15 now, 33.76. And you're looking at the NASDAQ positive by 86. Jumping around to the headlines popping out this morning. This one just coming up. Home builder sentiment jumps to a record high, but soaring lumber prices could dampen momentum. Builder confidence in the newly built single-family home market jumped 6 points to 78 in August. National Association of Home Builders. Wells Fargo Housing Market Index, anything above 50, considered positive. There's a lot of housing data we're going to get this week on top of the retail earnings. Bring that up in a moment. Cost of lumber is soaring, not only because of increased demand, but mills shut down in April and May and did not expect to see the kind of strong demand they're seeing now. All right, and to jump around to what else we have going on, it is earnings season, and we are going to start with a couple of the companies coming out this week. So on Tuesday, we get Advanced Auto Parts. Talk about an acceleration. This stock even. Look at this. We're going to open $3 higher at $161.40 ahead of their numbers tomorrow. Putting this in some context of where we've been. Talk about an acceleration, clawing back basically all of the losses from pre-COVID. We're actually above where we were in February to 158.66. Advanced Auto, they're at their numbers Tuesday before the bell. Home Depot also out with their numbers Tuesday before the bell. These stocks have just gone basically in one direction since the market lows in March. We're up at 280.55 right now. Let's see where we're trading at today. Looks like traders and investors getting a jump on the retail earnings week as Home Depot is going to open almost $5 higher. We also get Lowe's earnings on Wednesday. Similar story, Lowe's from 154 to 157.39. For some context on Lowe's, talk about an acceleration from 60 to almost 160, folks. Craziness, right? But it makes sense. Everybody, they're buying their grills, they're buying their home merchandise, whatever it is. You go from 126 to 60. We're going to open almost at 160 for Lowe's. We also get Kohl's. So backing it up to Tuesday. So again, we get Advanced Auto Parts on Tuesday, Home Depot on Tuesday. We also get Kohl's I mean, talk about just a full plethora of retail earnings. Kohl's, not quite the same as a Home Depot or a Lowe's. The retail sector, especially some of these discount retailers, in big trouble. From 1089 to 23, we've still just been basing on this bottom range. We were all the way up at almost $50 to start the year. We were above about 44 pre-COVID. And putting this on a little shorter time frame, you got Kohl's trading at 23.62. And then jumping to Wednesday. There's a lot to keep track. I just got to keep looking back at my notes. So you had Lowe's on Wednesday. We also get Target on Wednesday. Yeah, these big retailers, they're popping ahead of these earning numbers, folks, especially the big ones. When you talk about Home Depot, Walmart, Target, Lowe's, all of them up dramatically this morning ahead of their earnings coming out Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, you got to figure, right? If you get good earnings on Walmart on Tuesday, okay, then Target's going to pop. You get good earnings on maybe some of the retail sector, like Home Depot on Tuesday, Target's going to pop. So they're both trading a little bit higher as we await their numbers. Pretty remarkable you have those sectors, and maybe that's what's carrying some of the indices higher this morning. Okay, on Wednesday, we also get TJ Maxx. Again, higher this morning. TJ Maxx, for some context, rebounded a lot better than a company like Kohl's. From 65 to 32, we're going to open this morning at almost 59. So you're climbing right back. You're going to have basically all the way back to where, what's the date on that? March 5th? We're going to claw back on TJ Maxx, and they are out with their numbers before the market on Wednesday. We get L Brands on Wednesday after the close. Talk about some volatility. Now, I have some L Brands, full disclosure, had it before COVID. The plan was they have a great business in Bath and Body Works. They have a not so great business in Victoria's Secret. The idea was the brand of Victoria's Secret is almost irreplaceable. They've lost touch in this day and age, as in not keeping up, declining sales. It's been a drag on the company. The original plan was, backing that up to for some context on L Brands, we got this type of a pop here from 20 to 23. We're going back to January of this year on the original plan to sell off a controlling stake of Victoria's Secret to private equity. They would still keep a stake in Victoria's Secret, but they were going to sell off a controlling stake to private equity, let them spin that off, let them take that, turn it around. Now that deal fell apart completely during the COVID. You go from $8, but we've climbed back dramatically. They come out and talk about their restructuring. This was the huge pop here, that they are saving tons of money from what they've done. They're going to save, I think it was $400 million, something like that, from layoffs. And L Brands, you're up at 27 almost on their earnings coming out on Wednesday. Another big stock, not really in retail, but we get it Wednesday, Nvidia. Look at that stock. From March lows to 180, we're up at almost 462 on their numbers. Talk about an acceleration, you're up to 462, and even, watch this, folks, that's where we were as of Sunday. You want to talk about getting a jump on earnings? Ba-boom, up to 475 from 462 just last week. We're up about $13 ahead of their numbers coming out as well. All right, back to retail, and it's a big week, right? Estee Lauder, they're going to be coming out with theirs on Thursday. We're on to now. I mean, it is nonstop. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why not? Estee Lauder clawing back almost all of what they've lost as well, up to about 212 ahead of the open this morning. We get BJ Wholesales Club. They're out with their numbers Thursday as well. These wholesalers, they've done well. I mean, look at where we were, right? We were at like $18 back in February. Boom, we're up at $41.48, and this morning we're up above there. We're up at about $42.20 ahead of their numbers coming out as well. And rounding it out on Thursday, we get Ross Stores. They're out with their numbers. Ross trading a little bit higher as well. Pretty remarkable. You get all these companies in retail that are facing all of these woes. Now, Target, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, that makes sense. Start talking about Ross Stores, right? Ross Stores, really? You're trading higher ahead of earnings? Well, we'll see if they put up on Thursday after the market. And rounding it out on Friday, we get John Deere. Nothing like it, right? You're at home, you're buying equipment, you're servicing your yard, up to 191, and we're even higher. We're trading at about 192 right now for their numbers. And we also get Foot Locker. Foot Locker has been struggling. They've been struggling. We've been hanging at this $28 area since about May. We were at about 40 pre-COVID, trading at $28.73 as of Friday. But this morning, similar story. Doesn't look like much, but when you put it, we're up about 27 cents. Yeah, so pretty muted reaction on Foot Locker coming out with their numbers. All right, now getting into the housing like I talked about. We also get housing data starting with housing starts expected on Tuesday. They're looking for 1.24 million expected. You had 1.186 in June. You also get building permits on Tuesday as well. For July, 1.3 million expected, 1.258 was in June. You get mortgage applications on Wednesday for the week ended August 14th. 6.8% was the prior week. We get FOMC meetings on Wednesday from their July meeting. Pretty remarkable there. And then on Friday, you round things out with U.S. manufacturing PMI and existing home sales. That's what I was looking for. Existing home sales in July, 5.4 million expected, 4.72 million in June. And with that, let's take a look at those notes and bonds as we come into this break. Just kind of hanging steady at 139.11, a little bit of higher price and lower yield. The VIX this morning trading 22.27. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's up about 16 points. NASDAQ up 94. Dow up 96. We're within about 20 points of that all-time high in the S&P. We'll see if we get there today. Pretty remarkable. We are now 78 days away from the presidential election. We're going to start getting debates. We're going to start getting vice presidential debates. We're going to start getting, I'm sure, presidential debates. It's all going to come to fruition. Maybe the market starts factoring in some of the volatility that we might see. And, folks, in terms of trading, all right, politics aside, you better get ready for some volatility because you got Pelosi calling Congress back into session. They're going to have a special hearing a week from today, Monday. They're looking to get the postal chief in front of them to answer why they're having so many problems ahead of an election that could be conducted majority by mail. In Florida, I requested my ballots by mail, joining the President of the United States, who has also requested his ballots by mail in Florida. 5 states already in the country vote entirely by mail. It can be done. It cannot be done if you're sabotaging the postal system. And it's very discouraging and worrisome to think about what happens on the election as you have votes not getting counted because they don't show up in time. And then you have a president who's probably going to stand up there on election night, no matter what you think about politics, and decry that unless he's the winner, it is rigged. And that's a scary thing for the markets, folks. If you remember where we were in 2016, the fear that gripped the market was not really, I think, that Donald Trump had won when the market tanked. It more had to do with a contested election, that it was going to be so close, the market was realizing early on, that they were going to be worried that it was going to be contested, and the market tanked. And when it became plainly obvious that Trump had won in grand fashion and it wasn't going to be undeniable at all, that's when the market skyrocketed. The last thing you want is uncertainty in this market, and that might be what's setting up. So in the next week, you're going to say that. Congress is back in session. We'll have that meeting, emergency hearing, a week from today. We'll see what happens. All right, folks, stay tuned. Monday's in the markets. We got our man Larry Pezzimento. He's coming up live next. S&P's now up 16. Right back.